Blocks Builder, and in today's video we are going to make a searchable video gallery, and we're going to do that using our Any Video Bric, but also our new Bric, Any Video Search. So that's a lot of words, right? So here's an example of actually what we're going to build, and we're going to walk you through building this exact gallery. And so we have a whole lot of movie posters here, and they link through to their respective trailers on YouTube, and it is fully responsive and also searchable, and we're going to show you how to do that. And here we are looking for Alien, Inception. We can do actors, so we've got Emily Blunt, and we can obviously shortlist that. Mad Max, Matrix. Whoop. And what's cool is if you do typo and there's no matches, we actually even get an alert. How cool is that? So it may look complicated, but it's going to be very easy to assemble, and I'm going to walk you through the whole thing. Okay, so enjoy. Alright, the first thing we're going to do is we're going to build our example video gallery. And I just have an empty project here, and I have two blocks, one with an 8-column block and one 12 here. They're just generic blocks. And inside this one here, I'm going to add a grid. Now, grid is the best method to create these galleries. You can do it with Flex, but grid just makes it really simple. And so we have our grid element, and what I'm going to do is, because we're going to make a film trailer video gallery, I'm going to want 5 across, and we're going to go 3 down. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to add, using this plus symbol, I'm going to increase until we've got 5 columns down, and I don't need to worry about the rows because they will automatically populate. But we're just going to have this with 5 columns. And you'll see up here, Blocks has actually created a class for us called Grid Style. And what I'm going to do actually is I'm going to rename this, and I'm going to call it Video Gallery. And okay, with that done, I'm going to add Any Video Bric inside our first column here. So we'll add our Any Video Bric. And we want to put this within the grid itself. We don't need all these div containers. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to delete all these. And this is part of the process of making the gallery with Any Video. Because Any Video is already in its own container, being custom Bric, we don't need all those other ones. So now we have our custom grid, and we have our Bric here. And I'm just going to do some quick styling of this, and you can look at our other video on Any Video on all the settings for Any Video. I'm going to go through this rather quick. So we're going to use YouTube. We'll come back and set the ID and the video description later, and video description is very important. This is used in the search. I'm just going to make extra large modal. I'm going to give it a fade effect, a standard blur, and then we'll come down to the poster here. I'm going to add a poster, and I've got several posters here for this project. I'm going to add the June one for our first one, also the one we're going to use for our styling. I'm going to change the ratio to vertical 2:3, and we're going to give it a solid circle play icon. I'm going to move that to the bottom right, and we're going to make that large, and we're not going to worry about an overlay. I'm going to give a poster border on here, probably, let's make that a 3, hopefully that's not too big, and a radius of 3, maybe we'll make the width 2, we can change this later. And I'm actually going to set the color of the border to white. Okay, and that's, let's set a transition. So a transition time, and our zoom effect, how about that 4, and then make that 3, and then we'll do an ease in and out. Okay, so what we have now is we have our one Any Video Bric, that on hover, the poster enlarges like that, and it will display a large modal. Okay. Now what we want to do is, as part of the styling, I'm actually going to set the background color of this block to be black, and we can see that white border I think is going to be good at that size. Okay, coming back here, we know that we've got our 5 columns for our CSS grid. So what I can do now is I can go ahead and duplicate our any video brick. So I do recommend just styling up one any video brick and then just duplicating that through your project. So I'm going to go and duplicate this now, and as we get past 5, you'll see that it will wrap and create a second row, and I'm going to do 3 rows of 5. Okay, there we've got our the basis of our video gallery. Now I'm going to do a little bit of styling. I'm going to come back to our grid element here, and I am going to give it a background color. I'm going to set a lighter gray. I'm going to add some padding all the way around. I'm just going to set 1 rem for that, and let's give it a border radius of say 20 pixels. That'll be okay. And one thing we want to also do to set on our CSS grid is we're going to use our grid tab here, and we're going to set a gap for our columns and our rows, and I'm going to set these the same. I'm going to set this at 20 pixels for our column and our row, and we're going to change this on different breakpoints. So this is our basic layout for our gallery done, and it looks pretty cool. What we want to do now is make this responsive. So make sure we've got our grid element selected. And as you can see, we're in our large breakpoint here, and we've got 5 rows. And so as we switch down to our medium breakpoint, I'm actually going to remove one of these rows right here, one of these columns, and remove it. So we've got 4, and you'll find that the content will automatically flow down into another row. So you're not actually deleting anything in there, it's just removing the number of columns. It will increase the number of rows. So on our medium point, I'm going to have 4. On our smaller break point, I'm going to have 3. And on our extra small, I'm just going to have 2. Okay, so something else I want to change, because as you remember, we just set our column and our row to 20 pixels. I'm going to keep that at 20 pixels on our large and our medium, and on our small and our extra small, I'm going to change that to 10. And this should change it on an extra small as well. If we swap down, check it. Yep. Okay. Right. We have now our responsive image gallery. Brilliant. Next thing I'm going to do is I'm just going to quickly go through, and we're going to assign new poster images to each of our any video bricks here. So we're going to keep the first one as June, and because we have the image well already selected, we can actually just switch to the next brick and select the artwork. And so I'm just going to go through here, and these aren't in any particular order. It doesn't really matter. So Matrix Reloaded, the movie, and most people did not enjoy or like. And John Wick, favorite of mine. Guardians of the Galaxy 3, Guardians of the Galaxy 1, Blade Runner, great series, Mad Max, and what have we got there? We've got Terminator 2. So nice lineup. So that's looking good so far. We have all our image art in there, and we have a responsive gallery. So next thing we're going to do is we're going to prep this for our search. So with our any video brick selected, in the options here on the right hand panel, the top options, we're going to keep that at YouTube. We're going to do this for all of them, and we're going to set our ID, our YouTube ID for the trailer for that movie. And in the video description, I'm going to put the movie title and a couple of the main actors. And what happens with the search, any video search, will actually search this content here. Whatever's listed in video description is what it's going to search by. And so we have a bit of a list here of the to match the art that we've got here. And so if we go to the first one here, we're on June. So I will come to June, and I'm just going to copy that. So I've got June 2021 starring Timothy Kamalit, how we pronounce that, in Zendaya, and I'm just going to paste that in there. And I've got the video ID. I'm just going to copy and paste that in here. And again, you know, to learn more about how to use any video, you can watch our video that goes through all the settings. So what we've now said is that we've set the content for our June any video. We've got our poster art. We've got the ID for the video, and we've got a video description that's going to have keywords in it that we want, that we allow, that can mean people can search for it. Okay, so I'm just going to go through and do each one of these ones, and through the magic of video, you don't have to sit there and watch me. I can just do it really quick. Okay, we have added all our content. All of our any video bricks have an ID for the YouTube video, for the trailer, and also a video description. And so right now all we still have is we have a very basic video gallery that's nice and responsive, and we'll also play, let's do that in the browser, we'll also play the trailer in a modal. Nice and loud. And that's actually the wrong trailer, because that's 1980, what was it, 1986. So that is the second movie. But we've got the first movie posted there. That doesn't matter. But you get the idea. We got artwork, we've got a nice gallery, it's responsive, and it's very easy to make using grid CSS. Okay, next thing we want to do is we are going to add our any video search brick. And I'm going to use this block up here, and I am going to add our brick. There it is, couldn't see it for a second. And when we add the brick, we'll see that there's two parts to it. We have our input selector here, and we have an icon area and a button as part of that in our input area, and also below it we have this input zone, and this input zone is the alert that you can set up for when a search result doesn't match any criteria. And so right here I can add a paragraph, and I can put some text here, and you can put any content in here. I'm going to add no matches. Please try again. Okay, and we can actually style that within the brick itself. So with our brick selected, and there are two areas, remember, the input zone and the brick, we need to select the drop zone or the input area. So if we click the input area, we are actually going to select the any video search brick, and we'll see the options on the right hand side. Now our first option that we have is to set our any video gallery, and we do that by choosing an ID for our video container. And so we haven't done that yet, so I'm just going to do that. I'm going to come back to our gallery container, and I'm going to add an ID, and I'm just going to call it video gallery to be original. And we'll come back to our search item, and we will be able to now select video gallery. Okay, so what we've told this input is that as someone searches in here, filter all the any video bricks that are inside this container. The next option we have is for quick search, and we'll have a look at that in just a moment. The next thing we have is our placeholder, and that'll be our placeholder text inside the input field. So we could, because we're doing a movie trailer gallery, we could put in here title, actor, so users know that they can search by title or actor, because we have listed a couple of actors in each of the films. The next couple of boxes we get, our search box icon. This allows us to define the content that's in this icon box at the beginning of the input bar. And our search button, this content here, is for this search button that's at the end of our input area. Now, we do not actually have to have the search icon here. We can, if I come down a little bit to the setting here, hide icon, you'll see that it's removed it from the search bar, or you can have it visible. And we can actually change the icon that's in here. So if we actually come to our browser and we get bootstrap.com, click on the icons tab up the top, and we can use the Bootstrap icons as easy to get SVGs. So we could say movie here. It's going to give us that film icon. And I'm going to copy under the copy HTML section, I can copy the SVG right here by clicking that. And if we come back here, in here, and we can use this icon here to enlarge it, I can actually paste that SVG right in there. And as you see, as I've done that, we see right now the icon has changed to this film icon. It's pretty cool. But we can also do other content in here too. So I could just write search, and you can see it's added the word search there to it. We could completely remove any icons and just say add text. You can use markup as well. It's really easy to just modify or completely remove this button area, this icon area. So I'm just going to change that back to that film icon. And in the search button here, I'm going to change that also. So I'm going to remove the magnifying glass and search, and I'm going to put in the film icon, and I'm going to put a span here, a closing span, and you don't have to get complex like this. And I'm going to type search, and why I'm using a span is I can put a class here, and I'm going to use a Bootstrap utility class which says ms, which is margin start, which is margin on the left, and hyphen, and we can set that as 2. And as you can see, there is now a gap between the search text and the icon there. Okay, so this can be as complicated or as easy as you want. So you could actually, if we selected all that and we copied it, we could just say, you could just type search. You don't have to have all that markup at all. It will actually just add search into the button itself. And I'll just put that back because I'm going to keep that. And then we get into our quick Bootstrap theming section. So we can set the size of our input. So we can see small. Can we see our text got smaller there? Or large. I'm going to keep it large in this case. I'm going to actually hide that icon on the left hand side, and we don't want that. And here we can set different themes using Bootstrap classes for our search box, our search button, and the alert message. Now the alert message is this text that we put in earlier on the input zone. That's what comes up if there are no matching searches. So you don't have to set any of these options. You can actually use the classes. It's all fully classed. So in the class manager, you can actually edit and design all this as well, however you like. So I'm going to set a theme here for our search box. And I'm going to define it as primary outline. And if we have a quick preview there, we'll see that it's now the primary color, which is blue, and it's given us an outline. If I change that actually to say success, we'll get the success colors. And let me show you too, if I unhide that icon and we put it back, it will actually set the background color of that icon area as well, using whatever theming that you choose to use from these Bootstrap ones. So I'm going to give you an example. We could change that to danger, and we see it's all applied to the input area. So I'm going to hide that icon, and I'm going to move that back to primary outline. We can set the text, and now this is the color of the text when a user types within the input field. So I'm just going to set that as dark. You don't have to set that. And my placeholder text, which is this here, which says title actor, I am going to set that also as dark. Actually, we could do primary, and you'll see that it changes to blue. And because we have the input text as black, when someone types in there, we get black text. And we've got blue placeholder. Actually, we might leave the blue placeholder. How about we do that? And for our search button, we have the similar options, which is this button here, we can choose to assign Bootstrap styling to just the button itself. So I've chosen success, which is green. I am going to choose just primary for this as well, and you can change the color of the content of the button to whatever as well. We can have it unset. I'm just going to make that light, and so we've just got a very basically styled input box now. Okay, with the alert message, we can apply the alert settings that are built into Bootstrap as well. So I'm going to actually use the danger one, which is red, but you know, there's secondary, success, and of course you don't actually have to use these. Once again, you can just use the class manager, add some classes that are in the documentation, and style this however you like. But this just makes it nice and quick. Now, one of the things I'm going to do, I'm going to keep that as danger. And I'm going to select my text here because I don't want that margin at the bottom, that padding. And so it's margin, I think. So I'm just going to come over here to the spacing options. I'm going to hold down the option key while I press 0. Now, when I press option 0, it'll remove it across. It'll apply that to all breakpoints. Okay, so we have our input area style. We have our error message. We have our gallery set up, ready to go. We have our gallery defined, so it knows where it is. And I'm not sure what happened there. Total actor changed to 9 for some reason. We're good to go. Right, so I might actually just carry on styling some of this. I'm going to change the padding to 20, and I'm going to hold, actually I'm going to go none. Again, I'm going to hold down the Alt button to make it apply across all breakpoints. If we go through all the breakpoints, we now see that there is no padding applied to all of it. And I'm going to set a background for that lighter grey. And because we've got no, if I preview that, we've got no padding there, I'm going to add a Bootstrap class called PY. So I'm going to add padding to top and bottom, and I'm going to set that to 4. Okay, let's have a quick look. Nice. Now the other thing here is that we have this white space at the bottom. So I'm going to fix that by going to project settings, and I'm going to apply a Bootstrap class to our body classes here. I'm going to call it BG Dark, which will actually just set the background to black. Actually, that is the wrong class. BG Black. Help if I use the right one. Okay. And now we have a fully black page. And if we come and have a look at our preview in the browser, we have our search box, we have our search button, and we have all our video items, and it's all fully responsive. Now we can start our searching. So as I said, if I come back to the project, and just to recap, if I select out any video brick here, the search feature of any video search is going to use information that's in the video description. And so we are going to see that in action. So here I could do a search, and I could do a search for June. And as you can see, all the other elements that don't have June in them in their description, they all ghost out and they shrink down. And now we can control this, and we actually have 2 different types of searching methods. So I'm going to show you this one first, which is the default one. So as you can see, June is highlighted and the others sort of fade away. If we delete this, we can go to Alien, and you would have seen there as I mistyped, it's showing us that they've all been ghosted out, and it's saying our alerts popped up, no matches, please try again. Now what's cool too also about this message that pops up is it doesn't interfere with the layout of your content. It's not going to move your content, it sits above it. It's pretty handy. So we could do Predator, and we see that. We could do Arnold, and you'll see that what's highlighted is the Predator and Terminator 2. We'll have a quick look at some options in this search method that we have. Down the bottom of our options, we have this feature here where we can tweak the animation. So we can set the opacity that items that are excluded will receive. So we could drop that right down so they become very faint, and we can set the scale. So I want them to go quite small, and how quickly it animates in between those two states. So we could say we want it to animate in relatively slow, and we want it to come out relatively fast. We can also set the offset for the top of our alert to how far down it is from our input box, and so it defaults to 4. I'm going to change that to let's change that to 6, just so we can see that in action. And let's go back to our browser. I'm going to refresh, and I'm going to type in here. What should we type in? Let's type Inception. And you can see the changes already on how much slower that animation is. So slow out, but it's quick. It's quick in and slow out, just as we set it. And the items are getting smaller. Okay. That's pretty cool. And let's come back to here. Actually, I was going to show you the search box. We'll come back here. So if an item isn't in there, we'll see now our alert box is lower down. So just to show you how it doesn't disrupt our content, what I'm going to do is I'm going to change the spacing here. Again, I'm going to use Alt, so it's across all breakpoints. Actually, let's make that 50 pixels. And let's have a look. So we see it across the top of our content, and it doesn't disrupt the flow of our website at all. It's quite cool. Matrix, typo. Right. Now, one of the things I should show you too while we're here is that when a user then presses search, it will actually remove all those excluded items and just show you the items that are valid. Another thing that you can do is a user can press return. And so we can use the return key there, and we'll get the same result. So it's quite cool. So John Wick. And as you can see, as I start typing, it's all dynamically loading and filtering. If I remove the N, the J, it starts to show us the content again. So it's quite neat. Okay, so we've got some tweaking on how that animates. Now with our search brick selected again, and you can adjust these to suit. I'm going to show you that quick search option now. So when I select that, you'll find that our search button has disappeared. You can still have our search box icon on there if you like. In this case, I'm just going to remove it. And let's preview this to see what our quick search looks like. And as we type, it instantly removes items. So it's quick searching. There's no animated effect. It just removes or excludes items straight away. So you can pick a style that suits what you're building on your website. Okay, so that's a really quick example on how to make a really basic video gallery. We've gone through most of the steps, I think. Is there anything else we need to look at? I'll show you what this looks like on a real mobile device in just a second. But we know it's nice and responsive. And I'm just going to switch to my phone, and you'll be able to see it on there. Okay, so here I am on my iPhone 11, and you can see we can see our gallery here. The one thing I did change before switching is I set the search section there to be sticky top, just to make it easy for this visual demonstration. So as you can see, it's all been nicely responsively applying our gallery, and we can do our searches here, and we're still in quick search mode here. Let's see, we can do a search for alien. And of course, I'll show you what it looks like for our regular search mode. Let me just change that on the site. Start running that again. I just need to refresh this. Okay, and so now if I type June, we can see the animated effect works on our mobile device as well. I could put, we'll do Arnold, because we know there's a few of them. We see Predator pop up, and we see Terminator 2 there. And just like on the desktop, in the search here, you can either press return to filter the list, or you can press the search button and it will have the same effect there. And then we can search our different movies. So we can also do, because we're doing that field, we can bring up Emily Blunt, who's in Edge of Tomorrow, and we can see Edge of Tomorrow is highlighted there. We could do Reeves, is it double E? And then we've got the Matrix movies and John Wick turn up, which is kind of cool. Okay, so that's a look at what it looks like on a mobile device. Well, that's our overview for any video search and making searchable video galleries. We hope you found that informative, and we look forward to what you're going to build with these bricks. Okay, have a fantastic day.